Creative writing is any type of content that connects with you on an emotional level. That means it entertains you, it brings out different emotions: happy, sad, anger, then maybe friends, okay, love, any type of emotions that it takes out, comes out from you. When you read that content, that is where you have connected with it. Okay. Now sometimes if you are reading a content and suddenly there is some very interesting topic and you are like, oh my god, this is quite interesting, I had no idea about it, and aisa bhi kuch hota hai kya, this is what you always think, and that is where you have connected with it. Okay. Maybe you're reading a story and suddenly there is a one of the character dies and you are sad about it. Okay. That is where the connection is. Sometimes you will read different types of motivational books, inspirational books, and you are like, yes, this is what I wanted to read, and this is what inspires me, motivates me. So that is what is a creative content, and creative content is more about creating a experience. Okay. Always remember, this is what you're supposed to do. Now many different types of you might see different types of video advertisements, okay, on YouTube. You will see different types of advertisements on your social media feed. Those are all your part, that is copywriting. Okay. But copywriting ka base kya hai? Creative writing. Okay. Yes, copywriting is a different type of writing altogether, but if you are a creative writer, you can do copywriting. But if you're a copywriter, you cannot work as a creative writer. Okay. Clear for everyone now? When you think that a lady is pregnant, or rather, a parent, the parents are expecting a baby, and that is a very emotional moment for the parents, for the expecting father and mother. Okay. Now on top of that, when IKEA comes up with this type of advertisement, and where you just have to test, you just have to show that you are pregnant, and you will get the crib for almost half the price. Okay. Now what do you think will come, what a type of emotion? They will feel grateful. Okay. They will feel grateful that IKEA is doing. Now suppose if I am the one who's testing that particular advertisement, I am the one who is using that advertisement. For me, I don't know, I know that obviously many people are going to get that magazine, but for me, IKEA has done something quite impressive. Okay. Something that IKEA is now trying to show that they care for my unborn baby. Okay. So that is what how you can touch the emotions of your audience. Okay. That is what is creative writing. Yes, it was an advertisement, it was an idea, it was an ad copy. Okay. But the way that the content was written on that, okay, on that magazine paper, that is the job of a creative writer. How you are trying to reach out to the emotions of your audience, that is what is creative writing. Okay. Now whenever you write a creative content, yes, imagination is of course there, your creativity is there. Okay. That is why it is a creative writer. You use your creativity, but at the same time you understand the of your audience, and accordingly you create a content. Okay. Clarity content that you write, you write blogs, you write articles, web content, social media content, landing page, books, white papers, research papers, any type of content that you are going to write, you have to make sure that it should be clear, understandable. Now suppose if I am writing a book, okay, maybe I'm writing any type of content for 5 to 6 year old audience. Okay. But I'm using a language for a 15 or say 12-year-old audience. Will my 5 to 6-year-old understand it? No, they will never understand the type of language that I'm using, because I'm not understanding the audience that I'm writing for. I will not understand the type of language that they can use, they can understand that language. I have no idea about it. Then even if my content is amazing, but if it is not creating that engagement, then my content is useless. Okay. So now when we say a strategical content is something that aligns with the goals and objectives of the company, and at the same time can resonate with the audiences. That is what is a strategical content. Okay. Now, our creative content is on the same line. Okay. It does not matter if you're writing for a company. You might write it from your end. You're author, you're a writer. You can write any type of content. You might be a poet also. But if it does not resonate with your audience, for whichever target audience that you're writing, then your content is useless. Nobody is going to read it. Okay, so that is what you have to make your content understandable, readable, clear content. Okay, there is a concept known as Goldilocks approach. Okay, we will be reading that, we will be coming to that approach in our upcoming modules as well. But now, what is Goldilocks approach says? Now, if you have heard about that story, Goldilocks, yeah, Goldie the girl, Goldilocks, I don't remember her first name, but it was a story where she gets lost in a forest, and then she is hungry. She sees a house and she enters the house. That house is belongs to three bears. Okay, then she sees the three porridge bowls on the dining table. Then she takes the bowl which is apt for her and she finish it off. Now she's sleepy, so she goes inside and she sees that there are three types of beds. Now she goes and sleep on the bed that is apt for her. Okay, and now what does this story tells us? That the content should be apt for your audience. Too much content will confuse them. Too little content will make them unsatisfied. That will not satisfy them. So that is why any type of content that you are writing, write it what your audience wants to hear, what they want to watch, what they want to read. Okay, so that is what is your Goldilocks approach. Okay, now of course in your creative writing you are going to use emotions. I have been telling you since we have started this session, emotions play a very, very major role because emotions are the one that you can connect with. Now, you can easily connect with your family, with your friends, with your relatives, with your colleagues also. But can you relate with a person who's just walking by on the road? No, you cannot, because you have no emotional attachment with that person. Okay, so same thing is with the content also. So any type of content that you are writing, entertaining content, it needs to be emotionally connected with the audience. Okay, the language that you are using, so we will be working on the writing styles later on in the module. So that time I will tell you what type of writing style you are supposed to use for what type of content. Okay, right now I don't want to confuse you. Okay, then always make sure that your content has some context. Okay, context means some connection. Unnecessarily out of the blue, if you're writing something, no, but it will not make sense to your audience. Okay, that context should be there, that connection should be there with whatever content that you're writing. Okay, second is your content needs to be unique. It should be unique. It should not be copied. It should not be plagiarized. Plagiarized content in the digital marketing world is a crime. Okay, doesn't matter if people like it or not, but Google or any other search engine will penalize your website for that. Penalize means they will send your website back to some 8th, 9th, or maybe 100th page. Okay, and it will take you years together to come back to get that, to come back to the first page. So that is why keep your content, keep your ideas very, very original. Yes, you can take inspiration from different places. Okay, you can watch different types of movies, you can read different types of stories, you can then check out the content on the media, then you can talk to people around, though everything is your inspiration. But yes, try to come up with original ideas. Okay, try to now, whenever we talk about writing, there are three types of values that a content provides. Okay, now when we talk about values, values are it is informational, educational and entertainment. Now, your content should provide, it doesn't matter what type of content you're writing, maybe a creative content, ad copy, technical content, academic content, business or marketing content, any type of content that you're writing, it provide either of them, either one of them, at least on the minimum, either one of them, as that they should provide that value. Okay, they should either be informational, educational, or entertainment, or it can be a combination of one or two. Okay, these values should be very easily experienced or very easily visible to the audience. Now, whenever you're writing a content, now suppose you got a gadget. Okay, you recently bought a gadget, maybe you bought a smartphone. Now with a smartphone you usually get a booklet. Yeah, so how to use it, how to switch it on, agar aisa ho jata hai to kya karna hai, all these things, you have all these type of information in that. Those are called your manuals. Okay, instructional manuals, instructional guides, those are a part of technical content. And what do they provide? What is the value? They inform you, or rather they educate you. Understood what I'm trying to say? Now, you read novels, you read different stories, short stories, long stories, novellas, okay, poems. So these entertain you. They are using your emotions. You either feel happy, you feel sad, you feel angry. Okay, so those are your emotions that they are using. Okay, so that you can easily connect with them. Now you have your blogs, you have your articles. Now blogs and articles, they use a very casual language. What do you think is going to happen today in our blog, where we are going to talk about, say, LED lights? Okay, so they use such type of language, a casual language. So there they're trying to educate you and they're trying to entertain you. They don't want to bore you with lots of information. So rather what they do, they use a language which is quite conversational in nature, so that you get entertained also at the same time. Okay, so you can use any type of value according to the type of content you are writing and according to your audience. For all B2B content, business to business content, you usually use informational and educational value. Okay, for B2C, because we are talking to individual consumers. Okay, so that time we try to use more of entertainment. Boat, okay, the boat organization, you have all these gadgets and all, they use a lot of casual language, entertaining language. Whenever you check out their social media content, okay, they use this type of tone where they, because they're, who are their target audience? Their target audience is the Z generation. Okay, Z generation is always on the phone, people born in 2000s. Okay, so those are the people who are always on the phone, and they are like, even if they're reading something, even if they're reading newspaper, it is always on the phone or the tablet or maybe on their systems. Okay, so boat is targeting those people. That is their target audience, and they use slangs, they use casual language, they use that tone where they can reach out to that audience, where this audience can connect with them easily. Okay, because audience are very, very smart. Your readers are very smart. They know what they are going to read. Okay, now if you read a book, and how many of you have read Khalid Hosseini's books, any one of the book? So now Sidney Sheldon is a type of a book where you can, because that he uses different types of mysteries there. Okay, every time there's some twist and turn. So that is very, very engaging. You are just sitting on the edge of your chair and you are like, ab kya hone wala? It's like a page turner. Okay, so that is what it is, entertaining. Okay, clear for everyone? Now, whenever you watch a movie, for movies also, you have this thing in your mind because they take you to some type of illusions. Okay, when you have that illusion in your mind, you are at some place, you're at some other place, you're not in the present. You're not in what you're doing right now, but your brain is working. Your brain is thinking of something practical, but then you're pushing your brain towards illusion. So your creative writing creates that illusion. Okay, clear for everyone now? Now we have discussed about clarity. So make sure that your content does not create any type of confusion. It should be very, very crisp. Okay. If you are talking about iPhone 12, you need to talk about iPhone 12. Yes, you are going to compare it with say 13 or 14 or maybe Oppo, Xiaomi and Samsung and all these things. But you will not talk about AirPods or maybe iPads or maybe MacBooks or something like that. Okay. iPhone 12 means you're only going to focus on that. So that is what is clarity. You're focusing your content on that. What type of language you're going to take, what type of style you're going to use, the tone you're going to use, that we will work later on. Okay. And now your content needs to have a structure, a form. So now basically here we are going to understand some rules. Okay, so let me first show you the structure. Okay, structure we will be able to finish it in 10 minutes. Then rules and regulations we will cover it in the next class. Okay, now structure is there should be something called as H1. H1 is basically your title. Every content, you take a book, poem, story, blog, article, research paper, website content, landing page content, any type of content that you take, it has got a title. Okay, that is known as your heading or H1. Okay, every type of content has only one heading, one title, that is known as H1. Okay, H1s are very, very important. And you might have heard that saying that never judge a book by its cover. Yes. Yeah. So now, to be very honest, that saying is a bogus saying. It is not really true. Now just take yourself to a bookshop and you start reading the titles of the books. You pick up the title, you pick up the book where you think that title is quite interesting. You then take it out, check out the cover, then open and maybe you read the epilogue or maybe you read the synopsis, the summary. Okay, so that is basically you are checking out the title first and then you are reading what is inside. So that is what title is very, very important. Okay, how effective title you can write, how creative title you can create, that is up to you. We will be working on it, how to create a good title, we will work on it, but again it is your creativity. Okay, now next is your introduction. Okay, now in your short content like for blogs, your articles and all, you have introduction paragraph. For your books and all, your novellas and all, you have introductory chapters. Okay, so right now we are discussing about the blogs and articles. Okay, that is where you're going to work on your introduction. Now introduction should be around 80 to 90 words. Okay, by the rules, 80 to 90 words and not more than that, until and unless your client or your company specifies that the introduction needs to be 100 words, 200 words, 150 words, something like that. Okay, always try to keep your introductory paragraph of around 80 to 90 words. Now, your paragraphs should be divided into 45 to 50 words each. Okay. Never write long paragraphs. Always try to write shorter paragraphs of around 45 to 50 words each. So this thing will be divided into two paragraphs. Okay, of around 45 to 50 words. Okay, clear? Then comes your body. In the body, you have your subheadings. Okay, now subheadings are your H2s. Okay, then under H2s, I will show you the example also. Under H2s, you have H3s. Then under H3s, sorry, you have H4s and so on. You can have as many H2s as you want, as many H3s, as many H4s, H5s, H6 as you want, depending on the type of content that you're writing. Okay, and you need to include bullet points as well. Bullet points. Okay, जो dot dot डलता है या arrow mark डलता है, that are all your bullet points. And your bullet points can be words, they can be sentences also, or they can be paras as well. Okay, here, so this thing will come under your body part. Okay, finally you have conclusion. Conclusion again is same like this. It should be around 80 to 90 words, and it should be divided into 2 paras of around 45 to 50 words, until and unless your client or company says no, conclusion ko to 50 words mein khatam kar do, then that time you have to finish it in within 50 words. Okay, clear? So let me show you an example. Okay, this is your H1. Okay, scroll down. This is your introductory paragraph. Okay, then this is your H2. Under H2, this is another H2. Okay, under this you have H3, one H3, another H3, another H3, 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 again H3, H3, this one H3, H3, H3. So many H3s are there under one H1, H2. This is again H3. Now again one more H2 is there. Okay. And now under H2 you have, this is H3. Under H3 you have H4. Okay. Another H3. Under that H4. Understood now? So it is not compulsory that you need to have H2s, H3s, H4s every time. No, sometimes your blogs, articles, or your papers, they might only have 2 H2s, and maybe one of the H2 might have couple of H3s. It is okay. Maybe one of your content might have only one H2. It is okay. One of your content might have say 5 H2s and maybe 10-15 H3s, and under H3 some of the H3s you might have 1 or 2 H4s also, or maybe after that H5s, or maybe bullet points. It is okay. Okay, so there is no such rule that you need to only have this many H2s or this many H3s. Clear for everyone? Okay, now can you, okay, actually I wanted to tell you about the font size and everything, but right now we are quite less on time, so that I will cover in the next class. Your H2s, H3s, H4s, they all depend on the font size. Okay. Oh. And sometimes what happens, now see, the font size here is bigger than this one. Though it is in bold, it is not in bold, but look at the font size. Okay, clear? So this is what is your form. But again, in the form, we are going to discuss about the structure, what type of paragraphs, what type of chapters are you supposed to use, that we will work on while we will be understanding different types of blog writing, article writing, fiction writing, novel writing, all these things. Okay, that we will discuss it deeper. Right now, I'm just introducing it to you, the structure. Then what to write in the structure, how to write the structure, that we will discuss later on. Okay. Next, your content should be emotionally charged. Okay, this we have already discussed, so that your audience can easily experience that content. Okay. Now next is, it should be understandable. That is what I told you. There should be a connection. That connection is where they need to understand that what you're talking about. They should understand the content. Until and unless the content is not understandable, it is not readable, the connection cannot be created. Okay, so that is why you need to understand who your audience are. Accordingly, you are going to use the language, you are going to use the tone, you are going to use the style, and then write the content. Okay, the language should be unnecessarily using punctuations, unnecessarily using adjectives, synonyms, flowery words is not required at all. Yes, in creative writing you use synonyms, you use adjectives, you use idioms, you use similes, but unnecessarily overpowering your content with that will only confuse your audience and will lose the charm. Okay, so that is why whenever you're creating a content, please make sure unnecessary information, unnecessarily trying to beautify your language is not required. Okay, clear for everyone?